talk about Zeon Chriss. Know for a fact that you like him a lot. You got to watch him live in person, so I'll let you start this off. What are your thoughts on him transferring from one, just transferring like, you know, he's a good football player. Like, what are your thoughts on him transferring? Specifically, what are your thoughts on him transferring to Houston with a new Willie Fritz over there at Houston?
Yeah, this was an underrated guy that went uncommitted for a while in the portal. And I thought Willie Fritz, when he went to Houston, I was waiting for Michael Pratt. I was waiting for some other things, dominoes to fall, and nobody was going there. And they ended up with Zeon Chriss, who I think is a great get. Zeon Chriss is still a young guy, just a freshman this past year. I believe he's a redshirt freshman, yeah, and he kind of did some frisky things. He was very, very tough to tackle against Minnesota when he came up to play us. Um, Once they started using his legs more and he took over, they had success and he played really, really well. Was not the full-time starting quarterback for them, but ended up winning that job. And I thought that Louisiana definitely gonna hurt missing him. He's a guy, I believe he's lefty. He's kind of frisky, and all that good stuff. Actually, maybe he's righty. I'm so sorry, but regardless of whatever it is, he was fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Now it'll be a little bit interesting. It's a slightly different roster than it was last year. No Donovan Smith, but I'm talking about more along the lines of like receiver. It's gonna look different. No Matthew Golden at all. You thought, I mean, you had another guy underrated, Dalton Carnes, 20 receptions, 260 yards. He was a true freshman that got playing time. He's transferring out of there. I believe he's going to North Texas. Matthew Golden's going to uh, Texas at Austin. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there, but you got some other pieces that I think you like at Houston. Willie Fritz is a great coach. It is interesting though, because I think some of those wide receivers got out of there because, excuse me, Willie Fritz isn't known for bringing in guys that love to throw the ball a ton. So don't blame some of those receivers for getting out of there when they could, seeing that there might be some opportunities at other programs to show off their talents. But Zeon Chriss, he's a stud. I think he can elevate a team. Is he better than Donovan Smith though? That's the question. I thought Donovan Smith at times, notice I said at times, played pretty okay last year.
Yeah, I don't know about better right away. He's also a guy, Donovan Smith's a guy that's been there forever in college football ranks, a ton of experience. Zeon Chriss kind of got thrown into action, a little bit raw passing the football, but I think that running experience and that running ability gives you an added dimension in the offense that you mentioned with the physical nature of Willie Fritz's teams. I think it helps him. It gives you an extra body in the box to block and to account for that numbers mismatch. Obviously, that all these coaches are always loving to see for their O-line. And so, yeah, I think this is frisky. Yes, there's a reason why he went uncommitted for a while because maybe the development wasn't there over the season. He's still pretty darn raw, but I think the tools are all there. He's got a cannon of a right arm, really, really speedy player, quick, hard to tackle, avoid sacks pretty darn well at times. It'll be about putting it together with a new staff this year, which won't be easy. Having a new offense coordinator and a whole new staff for a young guy to learn. But regardless, though, I think this is a great take by Houston, given what they could have done. I was hoping Minnesota would have dabbled their feet in the Zeon Chriss, and I think they did, by the way. PJ Fleck and staff were super, super impressed with him when he came up to see us. And they obviously, were trying to get him on campus to visit, and he ended up choosing a starting spot over, maybe a backup or competition for Minnesota.